Everybody, back on it. Woo! That Ben's spirit
That
action.
bit is like the L, so you can have anything. All right, Evan, here you go.
Yeah, it's like the rod of dysfunction.
Oh! All right, stop recording. Got it. All right.
I'm so happy.
Now we can do a commercial break.
And this episode is brought to you by. I do have relevant stats for this beastie.
What beastie? What are you talking about?
The thing that you were fighting, the screaming thing. In that case, if you were fighting this, which I found my notes and I do see it's taking some damage and stuff.
We had it pinned to the ground.
Had it pinned to the ground, and then when we lit those on,
You were. I think you're still in the air, getting
I'm
ready
still
to
in the
drop
air.
the people's elbow on it.
Oh.
and it had been restrained by the light somehow.
I forget that part. You knocked it over. The light came through. I don't know what happened to it once. Like we lit the thing and then ended, and I forget what happened afterwards. I didn't take a note of what. I could listen to it right now, but
No, I think we can. This the moment in this like what you are experiencing is going to change very rapidly. In any case, you are trying to, working with Noose previously maybe, who's now suddenly no longer there, but working to restrain this creature with Beep Boop's help, and as the second beam of light just burns into this space and you can hear the sounds no longer of this thing screaming, but instead like there's this low sound of this oil that's burning now, but also like boiling up because Gray is still a fire elemental in this pool. Like he's still like waiting to come back up, so there's like this like roiling sound from that. The sound of the creature though does fade away, and it is lifted up off of the ground, not of its own volition. You see its hands, it's manacled, or it's like blocked up. God, that word, I need to write it. Stockade. The stockades in it, and it's almost like lifting it up by those stockades and slams it back against this now like split and angled two faces of the sun, which are reflecting that light into the door ahead right here. But it is like pinned up against that, and you can see that it is like it is almost like slowly burning the creature away in this radiant light.
I had questions for him.
Slowly.
Yeah.
You can see its long, like what looked like may have once been a brilliant and elaborately designed set of robes and other aspects. You would guess like you'd seen priests in ceremonial garb. It looks almost like that with these like flowing robes, but now are just weathered and like writhing thin cloth, like threadbare cloth that is darkened, and it seems to almost absorb light. And you can see at the very tips and ends of this where what once was like a solid fabric has been like cut and frayed into multiple threads and pieces, but like the ends of these are beginning to just like burn away in the light. You can see it like slowly shriveling away.
Okay. First question that I have is, when I look up, does it appear that my good friend Xerox is about to land on a spiky point of this new mountain-esque obelisk in the middle of the room?
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
Xerox will, assuming we're out of initiative, is going to fall a couple feet and she's going to Tony Hawk it down the side of it and using her flying ability to soften her landing and come to a skidding stop next to Beep Boop.
Yeah, give me a quick acrobatics check. Tony?
So, so that'll be a 26.
As described, the flawless motion, sliding down to a fast but under control stop. You pass through the warmth of this light judging by the amount of light burning into this room from either tunnel, like you expect to almost like burned or like you experience even more heat than you do, but it just seems to fill you with a warm and comfortable sensation. The amount of like light to heat doesn't feel like natural light. You'd guess like this is indeed like some sort of radiant energy, not mere just bright light coming in.
So I see that he doesn't take damage from it. Can I reach up and grab this creature and pull it out of the light?
Yeah, absolutely. You can certainly try. It does seem to be like pinned to the sun by the stockades.
Okay. I'm gonna try to grab it and pull real hard.
Okay, give me a strength check. With advantage as this creature is trying to aid you. You can see its wings that once were these like, you would guess, these like brilliant, bright, like angelic wings are now like worn and shredded themselves, missing patches of feathers and such.
Okay. So just strength, it'll be 23.
23. With a heave, you feel the stockades almost like magnetically just like locked to the where the edge of these large face of the sun now split. Peeling it off, you have to do the classic put your body against the thing that you're pulling against and just like lift off with all your strength.
Xerox, grab my feet.
You pull off and fall just the 8-10 feet sideways onto the ground, and the stockades come free. And as you grunt with the exertion and the pain of the landing, you all hear the screaming chorus begin.
Oh, God.
As this creature flies up into the air.
Oh, can I still hold it? I don't want to let it go necessarily.
Ooh, okay.
I want to keep hold of it, very much so.
I would say that you can consider this thing grappled. You pulled it, you ripped it off, so you can start with it being grappled by you.
Perfect. And it's screaming very loudly.
Oh yeah,
in
right
my
in your
ear.
ear. Yeah.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Can you stop that, please?
Its hollow, burning eyes look at you, and its open mouth just emits more screams. Its eyes have no understanding of you.
Does it look familiar?
Roll initiative.
Does it look like a person? I don't want to roll initiative. I want to... God, I rolled poorly. I don't like the small dice. I like the big one.
16.
15.
9.
Oh, wow. Wow.
No, would you get?
15.
15.
1 under Jared.
Nine for
9 for beepity beep.
Xerox. The creature opens its mouth. You can see these horrific shadows of teeth. You can't see anything solid in this thing, but its body seems to be made as much of spiritual or something energy as much as it is flesh. But anyway, this maw opens up, and as Beep Boop tries to talk to it while hanging on to the stockades, it just is screaming at him and goes to bite him. But it is your turn first.
Okay. Would you give me continuation of my previous rage, or would you say I have to start it up again?
You didn't take any damage on the fall. I would say to start it up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Bonus action, fly into a rage, and fly at him, and I'm going to do I'm going to recklessly swing my hammer. 21 to hit.
Mm-hmm. That'll hit.
And for 12 points of damage. And then magical. And then I will try to knock it prone with a shove attack.
It's in my hands. Well, I guess you can still knock it prone.
Well, no, actually, you have a good point. I will change that to keep the same roll
Okay.
for an attack, which is probably not going to make it. 14.
14 just makes its AC.
Okay.
He's just wearing some cloth.
So that'll be 12 points of damage.
More damage.
And that'll end my turn.
Okay. You slam into this thing twice as Beep Boop hangs. His face just inches away from its screaming mouth. Gray, you're up next.
I'm going to climb out of this oil, and I'm assuming there's probably like getting up from prone or something.
That seems reasonable to me.
So I have 50 feet of movement now, 25, and it's like what 50 to get back out there.
I would say so. Yeah, these are probably like 20 feet or 10 feet each. So it's we'll say 40. Yeah, 50, 45.
Gray is going to use his dash action to get over there, and he's going to try and push the screaming thing. I guess he doesn't know why it stopped. He's going to try and help, like, hold this thing down, but he's made of fire, so his fire hands stick through him. And since I am in the same space as this person,
Are you going to, Beep Boop is also hanging off this creature, so if you were to hang off the creature as well, you might be putting Beep Boop in flame touch or flame range.
I'm just trying to grab the creature itself, not Beep Boop, so...
you can jump onto its back as Beep Boop's hanging off the front of it.
Yeah, I'm okay taking some fire damage.
Melee attack within 5 feet takes 1d10 fire damage. In addition,
I would say that he's within 5 feet.
That's the rub.
All right.
Them's the breaks.
He's never been a fire elemental before. He's not exactly sure what he's all capable of.
He loves till he hurts.
It doesn't even say there's like a spell check or like.
Yeah, it seems like it's something that happens.
Yeah, it's the or hits. I know you can touch. Okay. And so it'll take 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage.
I will take 2 fire damage.
In addition, the elemental can enter hostile creature space and stop there. The person creature takes.
Thank goodness for resistance.
Oh, and they catch fire.
Oh.
I am on fire.
Until someone takes an action to douse the fire. Well, that's interesting.
Fantastic. You see the flame looking up around this thing's wings, it's like decaying feathered wings, and it's like crispy, just waiting to be lit, it seems, robes that have just been aged and dried and decayed enough that they're little more than tinder.
Well, Gray tries to say sorry, but all I could speak is Ignan right now. So you just hear like the fire snapping and crackling.
All right, then it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. This creature.
But it goes before me too.
It does. Your 9 is not good. I'll tell you that.
You're telling me.
Ooh. Interesting.
Actually, no. You have to hit me in order to take damage, or I have to be in your space.
Well, you are in its space, I would say. Like hanging
Yeah, but I
onto
don't
it.
think I would get beat boop though.
Oh.
Unless I actually like was.
I'm saying that since you're both hanging onto this creature, you're overlapping enough that it's a little hot.
I don't want to ruin his work.
He's got a fancy fire-resistant scarf.
I do have a fire
I
resistant.
do?
My whole shirt is fire resistant. My sweater.
Oh, the sweater.
The sweater with my bag of holding right in the
You're
pouch.
very quickly putting all the balls.
Everything back in the bag of holding. Back in the bag of holding. All my yarn. Now some of it's getting burned. There's nothing we can do about it.
Alright, this creature
I use it
is
as spellcasting components, so you're kind of fucking with some of my shit, but it's okay.
going to bite out at you, beep boop, twice with its gaping maw.
That sounds pleasant.
Wow, that's some shit.
That is some shit, bro.
With a 2 and a 1, both those attacks miss. But it is still going to, it can't, grab you or reach you, but you can see that both of its wings curl around for a moment. You can see they're coming around behind you until they plunge into your back. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
I would love to do that.
DC's only 15.
Well, I rolled a 14, and my saving throw for Constitution is +8, so 22.
Plus 8.
Give me some.
You take half damage as this necrotic energy rushes through your body. You will take getting the dice out.
Getting in that sounds like a lot of dice, though. I don't like
Not
the
so
sound of that.
bad. Don't be a coward. Ooh, those are good rolls though.
Alright.
Oh
Take
wow.
half. Doesn't matter.
29, so you take 14 points of necrotic damage on your successful save.
Is that all you've got?
With that, and with the 1 and a 2 on its attacks, otherwise, that is all it's got, and it is beginning to struggle to fly around this circle again, trying to lift off and fly away, but you still have, between the two of you, hanging onto it and more holding it in place, so it's unable to fly very far. Until,
Oh no. Legendary action.
as you're hanging onto it, its form becomes incorporeal.
God damn it.
And it just slides through your fingers as it shifts. It moves through you and through Gray, and you both just fall to the ground.
I'm on top of him, just burning.
Passes through you as if you were difficult terrain, and then continues its circle around this space.
What effect is it doing to us?
It's using its incorporeal movement,
No, okay.
not any effect on you.
Do I get an opportunity attack?
I don't see why not.
And it is on fire, so it should take some fire damage.
Yeah, oh
That's
yeah. It, how much was it?
1d10, I believe.
Oh, well,
It doesn't say how much the fire damage is. It just says that you do 1d10 damage of fire damage and then they catch fire.
Oh, the additional fire damage because it
Yes.
caught fire already.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, gotcha.
And since it's a troll, now it can't heal itself.
Usually fire's just I'm just gonna go with the typical 1d6 for the basic fire.
That sounds fair.
You take 4 more damage.
Nice. Way to get it, Gray. And you said yes to my opportunity attack?
Yeah, I would say so. Incorporeal movement does not say anything about putting it into the ethereal plane or anything. So it shifts through you, but it's still enough here that your weapons can harm it.
Is it moving past me? Can I hit it?
It is. It's going to move past all, it's going to move through you specifically, Gray, and then just continue circling around. It's going to move outside your threatened area.
I will also make an attack. 16 to hit.
I don't see why Xerox couldn't make it. 16 hits.
16 as well.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
We'll do 11 points. Oh, wait. Yeah, 11 points of fire damage.
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Even more on fire than it was before.
13 points. I mean, are we hitting this incorporeal form?
Mm-hmm.
13 points of slashing damage.
Nicely done.
Mine is all fire damage. Surprise.
The flame elemental is doing fire damage. How
What?
peculiar. You can see that your attacks are weathering this creature. Its form is becoming, like, you can see these like cracks appear in it, and as they do, like shining bits of like sparkling like spiritual energies escape those wounds before they seal up again. This thing is depleting whatever energy is keeping it here and in its form. You're definitely hurting it a lot. Beep boop, you're up.
Alright, sorry everybody. I think I made a mistake. I thought I could talk to it. Sorry. I'll kill it now. It's fine. I will want to. Oh, that's not gonna work.
Is it possible it has to be back in the light?
We'll find out. Do I have any way to move it? Is my question.
Great says in perfect big non-order.
Just dull campfire sound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to get around it, I guess, to the front side just to make sure it doesn't go past me. Is it in the air or is it so it's high up?
Not terribly high. It's like
okay.
Hovering around the ground, maybe just a couple feet off the ground.
Sweet. Can I jump and catch it with a swipe of my sword with the booming blade?
Yeah, do it.
Cantrip.
I guess I am also.
So that would be
That's right.
22. No, yeah, 24 to hit.
Yeah.
We need to get the dog back in here.
So booming blade is a confusing spell sometimes. There we go. So 2d6, 3, 6, 9 plus 7 is 16 plus how many d8? 2d8, 3, 5,
Boom.
8. So 24 points of damage, and it's covered in some shimmering light. And then this is where things get interesting. My burb. It's gonna be this d4 right here. And it has how much movement? How far can you fly? Well, I should flown 60 feet. So these aren't to scale, these 10.
They're 10, yeah.
10, 20, 30. I need 2 rulings. Can my bird see him?
Not from there, no.
Alright, then second ruling doesn't matter. He'll wait.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Xerox.
Good turn, good turn.
Xerox, you said it's only a couple of feet off the ground?
Yeah, it's like, continuing its flight around, but it's, the creature itself is probably like, without it, like, if it weren't hunched in these stockades, it would probably be like 8 feet tall or so. So it's like a relatively large creature, but it's flying around a couple feet off the ground.
We'll fly up above it, and we'll make a shoving attack, trying to shove this thing into the ground.
Okay.
Get it.
Or no, actually, she's going to attack with her shield, with her hammer recklessly first. Okay, so that's a 26 to hit.
Yes.
And that'll be for 17 damage.
Noise.
17 damage. This
Yeah.
thing is looking very heavily wounded.
And will use her bonus action to shove.
Opposed. Athletics.
Give
That's
you
a
guys
mere
ghosts.
11.
15. And will knock it prone on the ground.
Slam down. You're beginning to realize that this thing will likely be able to just shift through anything holding onto it again. But for the moment, it is. For your rest of your turn, it is effectively prone.
Okay.
But it won't. Effectively, I'm going to say it's prone, but it's not going to have to spend any movement to stand up because it just is a flying spirit thing.
Okay. Then she'll use her second attack. That'll be a 29 to hit. And
Beast mode.
that will be another 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's slammed into the ground, and you bring your hammer down, and it like moves in such a way that like the hammer slams into the stockade that's like around its neck and around its hands, and the strange like spiritual wood that whatever this is begins to splinter. You can see like the splinters of this impact like moving through it like broken glass until you can see like bits of light shimmering through that or erupting through those cracks until the stockades themselves explode off this thing's hands. And in this moment you can see its body burning away, and you can see this like radiant light pouring out from its just like otherwise looking like necrotic and corrupted body is now like erupting with its radiant energy from within. And as it does this, its form begins to change, at least for a moment. And you can see the hints of what this creature was before it changed into this. And you see this brilliantly bright golden skinned humanoid creature with brilliant white wings standing before you for just a moment, even as its whatever it is does continue to bleed away from this plane, its life, whatever force it has, broken.
Aww,
This angelic being for a moment smiles at you all, even as its third eye in its forehead opens and brilliant radiant light pours forth from it and then begins to burn away, and this creature is gone.
Does he seem happy that we killed him?
It does.
Then I don't feel as bad. I mean, I guess I could have let the sun do it, but... Again, sorry. I thought we'd be able to talk to it.
Gray has no idea what's going on. He saw you fighting it still.
How long do you stay fire?
5 hours.
Oh. Yep. We're hanging out with the flame beast for now. Now I start putting all of my yarn and flammable things like tucked into my coat, just away.
Yeah, I also...
I tell my bird to stay far, far away from Gray.
Shed bright light in 30-foot radius and dim light an additional 30 feet after that. So
Awesome.
I am glowing very brightly now. We're not sneaking through this thing anymore.
Xerox, looking around, not seeing anybody, takes her javelin and puts a small set of her rations on it and like holds it over. Says hold still for a sec. Hold still.
Yes.
He's holding out his hand.
Satisfied it is a nice char, she says, it's better.
Gray responds in something you can't understand.
She speaks flame.
Not that abnormal.
Right,
When
yeah.
Grizz speaking common, you can often not understand what Grizz saying. With that, the sound of the screaming chorus is gone, and the only remaining noise in this place is the sound of your own breath, and this kind of faint murmuration of what you guess is this radiant energy pouring through the air and into this chamber and being reflected to this door here.
I would start making Xerox makes her way towards the door. Does she see anything? Is there a particular point that the light's focusing on, or is the door just illuminated now?
Yeah, well, the door has, like many things in this place, has a lot of like carvings and relief cut into it, And remind me what languages you all speak?
Goblin and common and halfling.
Turkish, Dwarvish, and common.
Dwarfish, Normish, Orc.
Normish.
Normish. Just Normie.
Enormous.
I speak Normie.
As you look at this door and you can see that this radiant light is showing off the details of the carvings in this, and you can tell that there is more writing on this door in the same language that you saw on the stairs leading up to the pools in either chamber. A language that none of you speak. There is as much, though, artistic relief as there is like writing. And you can give me a history check or a religion check as you look at these carvings.
Oh my gosh.
16.
20.
16, 20.
History.
5.
I'm gonna go do history. He doesn't know much about religion.
And you got the 16 history? And you're doing history as well?
Yeah, 20 history.
Yeah, history. 5.
From what you can tell in the carving, you can see that there is a symbol of, like symbols of several people set before, they're all like facing one direction, and they're holding up a what looks to be just like a staff that has sunlight like brilliantly being shown from its face, and that is set, or the sunlight is directed at a what looks to be like a cave or a wall or a seal. You can gather, I think, Gray and Bifu, that this is a depiction of priests of Lathander sealing away darkness with light.
Sorry guys, I was checking the food.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
How
Yeah, I was about to ask because I'm getting hungry. If that's getting ready.
Yeah. Just give me a couple seconds.
Actually, I have to pee, so you guys want to
Break?
take a quick break.
Sounds good.
But you do see the
people
people with the light.
sealing away darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Shell is watching Disney movies.
So we left off with you guys examining this strange door illuminated by the radiant light that you just ignited from the other chambers. And you found what you were able to decipher, despite not being able to read any of the text engraved on the wall. You were able to kind of intuit some of these symbols and arcane icons, identifying a group of priests of Lathander sealing away some sort of darkness using a artifact or rod of some kind that just illuminated radiant energy. Elsewhere on the door, you see a large pedestal on which is placed a book. On the left side of this pedestal is a figure, humanoid, with a large dagger stabbed into their back.
Mm.
On the right-hand side of the pedestal is a figure kneeling, hands seemingly clutching a dagger plunged into their chest.
Well, that's how we were supposed to do it.
See a kitty?
You guys, we lit the fires wrong.
We were
What's
supposed to
that?
kill ourselves.
Is there like a gap around this door at all?
Xerox, you were, I think, walking up to the door to take a look and see if it was, locked or whatever before we took our little break. You noticed what was a flush, a door that was sealed and flush with the walls surrounding it is now slightly ajar. It is unlocked and can be opened.
Anybody want to take that armor? Or are we just gonna leave it there?
Fire.
Probably have room for it if you wanna.
I mean, I have a bag of holding.
Okay.
I think it'll fit.
Yeah, let's steal some armor.
Can I go and grab some armor before we make our way through that door?
Yeah.
Gray's gonna go ahead and slip through the door and just kind of peek on the other side.
Xerox will hang back from Gray, but be waiting for Beat Boot.
I'm gonna run over and grab it. The one on the right, because it's not in the middle of the fire.
Yay!
Yay, the cup went back to the cup spot. Great work.
Yay! Very exciting.
The flaming form of Gray pushes the door slightly
He could fit
more
between
ajar.
a 1-inch gap.
Oh, absolutely. In
Just
that
gonna
case,
slide right
the
through.
the plasma flame just slides through the gap, and you find yourself in a tunnel. You can see which ends in a number or another relief of the sun and stairs descending down.
Yeah, I know.
Bibu, you
Mhm.
head back down either the tunnels and right tunnel and go and snag the armor that you had recently bought.
All done? Okay.
Let's forget, was there a weapon with it? Or
I believe they had halberds, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I believe they had halberds.
I'll strap the halberd onto my back and I don't know how putting armor in a bag of holding works, because I feel like I'd be scared to rip it. Do you think it'll fit in my pouch?
That's good enough.
Great, I'm gonna put it in my pouch.
Yeah. Unless you're I would say just don't put loose weapons in there, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be too stringent on
Can you put people in there?
them.
If you want them to suffocate.
That's how you break the game.
Yeah, and they definitely will suffocate if they go in there, but yeah. But
There's
for now,
rules for that.
armor, armor can be stuffed into the bag of holding.
Stuff it into my front pouch.
All right, you pouch it in.
Halberd on my back, and I'm off to chase after Gray, the firebender.
He's just hanging out. He's not going any further.
Okay.
He's just looking out.
You're actually quickly rejoined by Beep Boop. Bag no larger than it was before, but with a halberd strapped to his back.
Okay.
I got it.
You can see just the illumination from the flaming form of Gray on the other side of the door, just flickering back through the crack in this wall now.
Well, we best keep up with our friend here. And I'll follow behind and push the door or pull the door open.
Mm-hmm. Pushing the doors inward, Xerox, you see the light spilling in ahead of you, and Gray, you were a little bit farther in, looking in this place, and you see the light, radiant light, spill across this engraving art of the sun, the brilliant sun, on the end of this chamber. So you see the stairs ahead of you going down, but against the wall ahead is this symbol of the sun, and it illuminates much like in the previous room. Begins to glow brightly and begins to reflect that energy, that radiant light down at the stairs, and you can see as you all walk up and a little bit closer, each of the faces of the stairs, each stair is cut in such a way to reflect that light coming from, that's being bounced now, from either chamber down this tunnel and then down and then deeper into this complex.
Like a laser, or just
Yeah, like light. Yeah, like just like a laser you can imagine, or just, but in this case, just a brilliant flood of light that's focused and certainly has some sort of magic involved in it. You don't think, like, obviously walls don't just make light on their own. Like, you know, you lit those pools of fire or those pools of oil, and like radiant energy just began to shine from those suns. So there's certainly like magic involved. It's not just light, but it does now like continue in these like beam that combines in this chamber here and then spills down the tunnel, down the stairs, and deeper on.
Can we hear anything coming downstairs?
You hear just this faint hum of the radiant energy of the light itself.
Okay. And then lastly, this picture of big dudes kneeling and murdering themselves with daggers, is this like ringing any bells in history? Like, is this a thing that took place once, or is this just a puzzle that Lathander decided to put on the walls out here?
As you wonder that, yeah, like that question I think is hard to answer considering your inability to translate the rest of this.
Mm-hmm.
And this may not even be a puzzle. You're not really sure what it is, like what further context this stuff might provide.
Okay.
Gray's seen a lot of stuff carved on walls.
I almost
Just nothing carved on walls.
kind of want to shut the door until we know what's downstairs, because what if we're unleashing something that we don't...
But should we need the light?
We can always come back and open a
All
door.
the way back up here.
We don't know how far down it goes.
Exactly.
Okay. You did it.
You know Gray doesn't care.
I couldn't even talk if you wanted to.
Gray is a fire. He seems. We have no idea how long he'll stay in this state, but
I don't know, but I kind of like it.
Minutes, so just say goodnight.
It's very warm.
I love you. I love you.
Aww.
Okay, say bye, everyone.
Bye, Julian.
Bye.
Good night, buddy.
Whoa.
Yeah, so many people waving at once.
Oh, yeah.
no, I don't.
Are
see
these
any
doors
other-
heavy?
Large and heavy. They are well built and turn without too much difficulty considering their size. But they are large and massive. Like if they weren't well built, they would be almost impossible to just shift.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just weighted and hinged well.
Okay.
But if you would like to give it a try, I'm open to your suggestions.
Gray, flicker for me if you think we should shut the doors or...
Gray turns back. Fire, 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 fire.
You didn't flicker.
I don't think he even comprehends common.
Alright.
Do you lose, like you shift? This is
No,
just
I guess
like
you still keep it.
you keep your
I just can't-
intelligence
I
and
can't-
stuff, right? As
yeah.
a druid doing mild shade.
I don't know if he just would speak fire because he doesn't have, any way to really form language.
I just want you to flicker.
Can
you dim your light?
Yeah, I guess he dims.
Just like holding your breath.
Yeah. Sure. It takes him a little while to figure out how to do it, but
Alright, we'll leave it open. That's fine.
he flickers twice.
That means yes.
So shut the door.
Wait, does that mean shut the door?
No, he flickers a third time.
Fuck.
Fire Elemental also has a
Super
6
low. Yeah, that's what I was.
If we need to shut the thing, we can come back and shut it just
Yeah.
as quickly as we can open it.
Alright, well, I'm gonna look up to my bird and say, fly down ahead. If you see anything shifty or scary, come back. And send it on down the hall ahead of us.
Yeah. It shuffles on its little
Oh, is it a
fabricy
flightless bird?
legs.
Please let
It's
flightless.
flight. No, it's flight. It got flight. It's got flight. It's flying.
Little penguin just gets down, waddles down slowly down the hallway. It flies down. You don't get any weird sensations from it, and within, I would say, about a minute, it returns to you, and it seems calm. Does it speak
It does not speak.
or make any
It
noise?
understands me. It can make noise. It does not speak. It can understand languages, and all languages that I speak, it does not have a way to communicate. I can read it all to you if you'd like.
Read it!
Alright.
That sounds. Thank you. Thank you.
It obeys my commands. That's all I got.
Cool. It flies back to you and does not alert you of any danger.
Cool. Let's go for it.
Right.
Well, if you're lead the way. Can't really hide.
Yeah.
Ball of fire.
I'll keep my eyes
Provide
out
illumination for the
Yeah.
party.
for any traps
Yeah.
that might befall us.
And Xerox will also keep an eye out for traps and the like.
As you shut the door,
Or we don't leave it open.
you are leaving it open?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You continue leaving it open, the light spilling through, illuminating this tunnel. You follow it down, follow the light down this tunnel, and you see it reflects off the wall ahead of you, down to the very stairs that you walk down, and then down through the tunnel below. It continues on, and as you walk through this space, you can go and give me a perception check.
Gladly.
Ooh.
Dirty 20.
15.
16.
Xerox, you first smell something off in this place. There is, in this tunnel, like there's nothing that you can see initially that has you worried, but there is the scent of death in this place. And as you all look around, Xerox, and then Beep Boop, and then Gray, you all begin to notice in the corners of this place, of this tunnel, is this like what looks to be the remnants of something. You guys have burned necrotic, like magic necrotic flesh and entities. You've burned them till they have been dissolved in radiant light. You think back in this moment to the necrotic darkness that had filled the topmost chamber of the Temple of El Mater. And you can see in here what looks to be the remnants of this sort of stuff. Like in the corners, in the like cracks between stones in this place, in this tunnel. Just wherever the light struggles to penetrate in here, there is what looks to be just some of this necrotic essence spilling forth and trying to grow back into this place. But it is cut, it is burned away by the light spilling through this tunnel.
Are there any bugs in this area?
Give me a nature check. Or investigation check.
15 nature.
You do not see any bugs, Gray. Yeah, I would say you don't see any bugs. You think that if there is any life in this place, it has probably been corrupted by the death here. And you're maybe hoping to find some fun bugs that could be companions to those weird bugs you found in the, Ilmater's crypts. Who knows?
Right.
But nothing so far, at least.
kind of like sips through the body, scorching them up as he does so.
Yeah, no body.
No,
It's just
right,
this
right,
like
stuff.
a stringy, like moldy almost like stuff that seems to be trying to this corruptive ichor seems to be trying to grow into the space, but has been burned back by the radiant energy.
You couldn't even grab the bug if you wanted to in this current state.
I know. I was gonna say,
Burn it alive! I love corruptedness.
This tunnel, though, passing by all this burnt away corruption, ends in another, what looks to be doorway. This one has, in front of it, or in the middle and face of it, has this like, just bar of what looks to be like, just pressed gold or bronze. It's hard to tell in the light that you have, and it's so brilliant and reflective. Some metallic, some metal was pressed into a long, wide bar here, and on it are what looks to be like symbols that you can't make sense of. They're far too, I don't know, like busy. There's just too many pieces coming out of this symbol to like make it. It's just too much for it to be anything specific. You think, and there's like when you look at, or you can sometimes see in like a microwaves display like all the possible lines it can make to make a zero or like all the various symbols.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like it's just like all these different symbols like almost like overlaid on top of each other. And as the radiant light hits it and you get closer, you can see that like it's almost as if these strange symbols stay where they are, but almost like overlaid over them is text you can read in like your most native tongue. And for Gray, I think these are just very intuitive symbols.
They're druidic.
Yeah. But it is, what looks to be effectively like if common is your most familiar language, just looks like it's in common.
Lathander's throwing us a bone.
It says, it's weird because it says in the middle of it, of equal weight. And on either side of it, on the left it says a sacrifice, and on the right it says a betrayal. Or rather, I think I have those backwards. On the left it says a betrayal, and on the right hand side it says a sacrifice. And then right between those is text that reads, of equal weight.
Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, betrayal's gotta be on the left. Because that was the left room. I feel like I'm missing some of the history of Lathander.
Do these bars look like they can move? These rods or the metallic things? Or are they stuck in place?
No, it's really weird. Like as your eyes try and like focus on it, it almost like just eludes like perception in a way. You can like clearly read the in your case like the symbols, like the druidic symbols, and the rest of you can read the common. But it's almost like you can like strain your eyes to see these like omni runes or something. These like runes that can somehow magically display any language. But it's all just like engraved in this like brass or gold bar that's running across the door. And in the center, like I said, it just says of equal weight, a sacrifice or a betrayal and a sacrifice of equal weight. But it doesn't look like they're not, except visually, they're not physically protruding from the wall. The letters on this.
Is there like a pedestal with something? Does there look like someplace to put some sort of thing, item,
Book.
sacrifice.
Give me a perception check or an investigation check.
I would much rather give you an investigation check. 24.
This door, like the previous, seems to have been unlocked by the presence of the light itself.
Ah. So it's open.
It is open. Looks like this door very well weighted, it seems. Perhaps like with a, you'd imagine with a counterweight or something, your mind kind of like goes to all the different like ways you could design such a thing. But the door itself seems to slide upwards.
Okay.
And as you're like examining it, you notice that it like there's as you just like lift a little bit, like it shifts a little bit far easier than it should with the amount of weight behind this immense door.
Cool.
There is sound of whispering coming from a chamber beyond the door. As you lifted the door, just a crack is now filtering through, and you can each just hear very, very faintly pleasant sound of whispering, luring honeyed words that you can't understand.
She's here. Why would she be here?
Xerox is immediately on edge. Shall we carry forward?
There was no levers or anything in the room, right? Okay.
No traps. No magical. Oh, I don't have that spell ready. Yeah, maybe I do.
Can Xerox get closer to the door and kind of, without lifting it, for how much space is?
Right now, it's just like an inch at the bottom. That the door's lifted.
Okay. She'll get down and like as close and try to like pull it up, like
Yeah.
maybe a couple more inches so that she can see like beyond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easily done. Like I said, the door is built in such a way that, you know, despite the ages that have passed since its construction, it still seems to be in good working order. And it does require a little bit of muscle, but, you know, it is no more difficult than lifting a heavy wooden door, really. The amount of force you have to exert on this thing to begin to get it to slide up. Peering into the interior, you can see a darkened room. You have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that this door opens and you can see the walls go out on either side, where you can, well, maybe. Probably on one side, as you're like looking from one side, you could like make out this angle. This chamber appears to be in a hexagonal shape. On the sides of it, and the angled, so like the we'll just do a little drawing. How's that?
Yay!
Take over this space. Oh, did I draw anything useful? No, I can't remember if I drew anything useful over here. Yes, this will be useful. See, a chamber like this.
I love a chamber like that.
It's a great chamber.
This is an octagon.
Did I say hexagon?
Possibly not.
It may not.
It is a well.
It should be an octagon. What you see are
I don't know
these
how to count.
walls going out from either side of the door.
Uh-huh.
You see set in these like sconces on each of these walls, these 5 walls. looks to be shadowed in the dark. And from where you are, 10, 20, 30, you can see like roughly what's going on in each of these little like alcoves. It does get dark, and you can see that these walls here are plain, or not, cut into. You can see. Let me change my orientation so I can track this correctly.
We can flip it around if it makes it easier.
No. You see in this wall here what looks to be some sort of like spectral shade, a spirit that is as much like blown into like in the wind. It's like carved into the wall, and like the stone itself is cut beautifully, like to display this like almost like diaphanous material that this like spectral form is made of. It has on its face a horrifically cruel expression. It has in these above these like cold eyes a crown that appears to be made out of like a ring of ice with these like spikes sticking out of it. It is some sort of frozen or like frost specter of some kind. In this one, you see a figure sitting on a throne. It is holding a staff that has the symbol of Lathander on it, a brilliant sun. But you can see in this that the symbol has been defaced. The priest holding this rod that's sitting on this throne has no skin on their face or their hands or any of the front of their bodies. You can see that they are nude to the waist. Their skin's been flayed back behind them, and almost in a mockery of like a old art of like saints with having like the glow behind them. There is this like flayed skin behind them, behind this priest. Here, the most prominent of these recesses is a humanoid with bestial features, with cheekbones far too high and like set forth to be natural. Like face just looks like muscular and sunken. Eyes that are just you can't tell color in here, but have no pupils, a single shape, single color. It has fanged teeth protruding from its large mouth, and you can see its hand is down here resting on a bloodied skull, or a bloodied head, dismembered from the body. Still, you can see the relief here, cut into the stone. You can see trails of blood coming from it. This is so well cut or carved. This is some sort of, you would guess, it has like almost, you would say like vampiric almost teeth. You come across more than your fair share of vampires at this point, and you can see some of those signs. Although this thing looks far more harrowing, far more monstrous than any vampire you have fought. Mm-hmm. Here, you can see is another relief. This one of an ancient serpent, a dragon. It is rearing back, its wings splayed, and you can see that there are chunks of flesh that have necrofied away, and you can see just like into bone and sinew in the interior of this thing. You can see that its skull is only missing most of the flesh on its face. You can see its wings are broken and cut in places, but it seems to be in a still life of it roaring in not pain, but in some glory, some revelation, or revelry rather. And here, Xerox, your eyes still acclimating to the darkness of this space, take each of these in turn. You see engraved in this wall a familiar face. The proud, haughty visage of a military man in resplendent armor. Behind him, what appears to be a legion of undead soldiers. You see in this face the familiar expression of arrogance that so often filled the face of General Harkill.
Xerox will let out a kind of just fuck. Seems General Harkill has found what he was looking for.
A resting place?
I mean, it may be that. That's what I thought he went to in any case. But he seems to be enshrined in glory here.
Ray's gonna slip under the crack in the door.
Oh,
Into the room.
A man after my own heart.
Well, he's not gonna go very far. He's just gonna go inside the room.
He wants to be in the room where it's right.
So I can refer back to them and not get confused.
Yeah, we'll make this way just inside the room. So he could see. Oh no, I mean, where's the doorway? Is it-
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll make way just inside. There's nothing on the two walls that are closest to us.
Nothing engraved. And as you step foot into this chamber, and the light spills in, you can see that there is also a small altar right here in the center. Little more than like a raised platform, like 6 inches off the ground. But you guys step inside, and yeah, you come into the chamber. It is illuminated by Gray's embroiling, flamey body. You don't see anything else that is of note. However, you do see that there's certainly more detail and stuff that you could glean from this place, but you don't see anything else immediately threatening or worrying.
There's no oil or anything in the central.
No, you don't see. Yes, Joel, would you like to share with the class?
I haven't decided if I want to share with the class yet.
He's cooking or something up.
Being in the room now, Xerox will just walk up to Harkill's ensconcement
Mm-hmm.
and inspect it more closely. and then
go ahead.
um, see if there's anything more to see there,
Mhm.
and then after that, go look at the altar.
Give me an investigation check. And an insight check first.
Is the light shining in here?
Gray is your light.
I mean the light from.
Yeah. If you open the door all the way, you expect it will.
I mean, if we're getting in there. I don't know how we.
Gray Express going in pretty
Oh,
low.
okay.
So I didn't know if you guys were. That's a good question. Are you guys gonna open the?
I hadn't seen
door?
myself going through the door yet, so it's up. I'll leave it to Xerox. How she got in there?
Xerox.
She was on her
just
belly.
climbed in. Just she would have already just crawled under. Just kind of lifted up slightly more, and then just crawled in.
Yeah. Yeah. So if the door is like halfway illuminated or halfway up, which the door probably goes like all told probably like 10, 12 feet up, like goes like all the way up to the ceiling, that it like recesses vertically into. Putting it halfway up, you can see like some of the light is coming through from the reflected from the tunnel beyond or behind you, and more illumination is provided by Gray. But it's probably like dim light in here with the door halfway up. Well, probably enough to see for a lot of that radiant light to come in. So we'll say it's normal light level here.
Okay. 24 insight, 19 investigation.
Yeah, you can see there are a few things that are pretty interesting to you. You knew this person in life recently.
Mm-hmm.
There is the most obvious thing that strikes you, like the face is accurate to Harkill.
Mm-hmm.
The armor is accurate to what the Imperium, like Crusader soldiers like Harkill wore. Like the undead soldiers carved in behind him wearing Imperium armor. Like the details of this are modern and recent. You can see, got a 20 what on your insight?
On my insight, 24.
24. You see there is something about the arrogant look on Harkill's face. Not directed at you, but it is kind of, you can see it's like kind of looking in the direction of this central panel. One of Harkill's failings, you knew, was obviously his arrogance, but how quick to envy other like generals and others that had acquired some claim to fame or gained a good reputation. Harkill, you remember, like always spoke demeaningly of his rivals and always sought to obviously, like he was always one of those that wanted to be the best of the best and wanted to like have all the glory for himself. And like anybody else that was a peer or a rival in that, always Harkill was like wanting to cut them down, even as he like took their place in any glory that they would have. You're not sure with your insight roll what exactly this look means, but you can tell that it's directed towards panel 3, and it is with some amount of that envy that you knew Harkill to always hold in his heart.
So I know that we're out here, well, we're eventually going to venture into the Bone Waste to find a vampire's city. Do I think that vampire, if of any lore that I've heard, do I think it's that one?
Yeah, why don't you guys can all give me some more investigation rolls in this place. I think there's a moment where Xerox is just like working through the rage she feels burbling up as she sees Harkill's face here and sees like the soldiers in the background of Harkill's relief being these undead mockeries of the people they were in life. Like, just, you can feel the rage building in you.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rest of you guys doing in here in these moments?
I'm waiting on the other side of the door thinking.
Seeing Xerox like intently looking at this statue, he's gonna stand next to it and kind of hold up, make more light, make it easier for him, for her, to really get some good detail.
Fantastic.
I only got a 6 investigation.
Can you take advantage since I'm helping?
Yeah, so you guys are like it sounds like Xerox is kind of moving her attention to this one now.
Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome to give aid, and it's been like 30 seconds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Beep Boop still thinking out there.
Real quick, Beep Scoop's gonna just think on the sign real quick in front of him and just shut the door just to see what happens. As I shut both of them in there.
Oh my god.
Okay. Why don't you guys give me initiative rolls?
Damn it!
Beep Boop must have gotten reprogrammed or something. It was like added some
13.
11.
It's dark beep boop. Right.
17.
Shoot, 13.
Okay. What did you get, Gray?
11.
11.
Now I'll be standing just behind you. If you don't mind moving me up a little bit.
Well, Gray, it's been good.
Gray with 11.
Correct.
And you got Xerox?
13.
Xerox with 13. Beep Boop.
17.
17. Okay, so, wow, pretty fucking poetic, as I rolled separate initiatives for each of these reliefs. As the door slams shut behind you, you are still illuminated and have some illumination in the space, and you still have dark vision. You have
And I'm
flamey gray
yeah.
still illuminating the space, but with the radiant light cut out, there is a sudden, like, coldness that enters this space. And you can see this panel begins to almost like freeze as it sucks any warmth out of this place. But at the same moment, a figure steps down from this wall with a heavy, stone-booted thud onto the ground. And it says, "I thought you cowards had gone AWOL." And it steps forward. "Only one punishment for traitors." And swings a long sword to cut your head from your shoulders. It's going to take a couple attacks against you, Xerox.
Okay.
Fuck you. First two are a 3 and a 5. Come on, you guys.
Great roll.
Come on, heavy metal dice.
Natural 20.
Natural, much higher. With a 15, it's going to be a... it's going to be a 24 to hit.
That hits.
And slams into you with a... what is a stone version of a great... or a long sword. You take 28 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
As the blade slams into you, not so much, cancel the slashing, make it bludgeoning, as this stone blade like slams into you and is more just a blunt force instrument than a sword. And raises this shield that you can see has the symbol of the Imperium the like five-sided star and the two-headed eagle on it, and he says, "You fucking tribals never were worth your weight," and he like readies to fight you. After he goes, beep boop, you hear this like heavy stone thud of this thing's footsteps as it steps out of its relief. You cannot see what's happening inside here, so you hear this and you hear some vague noises, but not much. What do you do?
Look around real quick. Do I see anything change in this room from my brief betrayal of my compatriots?
You do not. This chamber is still illuminated by the radiant light.
Any change in the wording on the panel?
No.
Then I throw the door open.
You begin to heave the door open, and with this light present, it begins to move quickly and easily. And as you guys recoil from this attack from this creature from the stone, you begin to ready to retaliate. Xerox summoning the rage that you've been feeling and trying to keep under control. Just as the radiant light spills into this space again, it is blinding for a moment, and you look back, and General Harkul is once again on the wall.
The ice is gone as well, or the cold?
Ice begins just like melts away, and the warmth begins to fill the space again.
Sorry, everybody. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing a part of the key. And I didn't have anything to sacrifice. It said betrayal.
You just learned the words, what the fuck. In fire speak.
I'm imagining the scene from Ocean's 11 where they blow up the thing and he comes out like, what the fuck? It's great.
Xerox is glowering and she's going to run over here and swing her hammer at the attempt to break the relief.
Yeah, slam it in. Like you can see this like arrogant protruding face, even as it's a small relief, so it's not full head like sticking out of the stone, but it's kind of all like smushed. You try and like smash the face, break off this arrogant fucking nose off this guy's face if you can. Slams into it. The impervious enchantment of your hammer slamming into something equally resistant, and just glances off with a vibration that runs up into your elbow.
It's just,
Did it come alive?
damn you, robot, get in here.
Yes. I'm gonna go check out the altar in the middle of the room.
I don't know what you did, but all of a sudden he was here.
I believe you.
I'm showing him a bloody well on her.
Again, sorry about that. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Just making sure we ruled out all possibilities.
So, I don't know about you, but locking ourselves in in a cage with our opponent is an option.
I mean, if you want to kill him.
Always do.
Looks like somebody got ahead of you. Lathander. He's imprisoned on a relief on a wall, I mean. But we could get him out. But I think some of these other things might come out alive as well.
Yeah, Gray wants to inspect the icy thing, well.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check out what this altar does. Again, terribly sorry. You know my job is only to protect you.
Gray wanders over to the icy one over here, or briefly icy one. And you can see that there is still some like frosty dew that's just like evaporating off the surface of this right now. Looking at these, give me an intelligence check, you and Xerox, please.
15 minus 2, 13.
Xerox, you as well. 13. You can tell that this thing has moved since the last time, since when you first walked in here. Its appearance changed somewhat. It's pretty subtle. Like this thing is like, you can tell it's like this like a gown, like a very thin gossamer gown blowing in the wind almost. Just how delicate this like monstrous spirit seems to be, or at least its carving. And it looks like it's like as if wind blew past it, ruffled its robe thing, this gown thing that's dangling away from it, and then it froze again in place.
Does it still have the icy crown, or is that just
Icy
carved
crown
in there?
is still there. Yeah.
Is it actually made of ice?
Oh no, yeah, it's that is part of the stone relief.
Okay.
That you can just tell looks to be, it's like cut in such a way that looks to be like ice crystals in places grown up.
Okay.
It seems to be like growing from this thing, its head.
And then there's an altar in the middle of the room.
There's an altar in the middle of the room, like I said, barely raised more than like 6 inches maybe off the ground. It's really a little more than like a step up platform that you can go onto.
Any iconography on it?
It's about maybe just about 6 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like the room, is in an octagonal shape here.
Okay.
There is a grate in the bottom of it, or in the center of it, and it seems to be angled such that any fluid in this altar would pool towards the middle, towards this grate. The grate's open, and you can tell that it would drain beneath. There's also more writing and iconography on this altar. The writing is in the celestial, which you've seen on the floors above.
Some sort of language that I don't understand.
Again, yeah. Celestial redacted.
The Great Redacted! Redacted!
The language you do not know that may or may not be celestial
Excellent.
is on this altar as well.
Of course, big words isn't here.
There is, however, various iconography here. And looking at it, there is a central figure. Before I make you give me roles to interpret this stuff, there is a central figure, so like this octagonal altar. In the center of it, there's like what is the Michelangelo like dude?
Vitruvian Man?
Yeah, there's a Vitruvian Man basically like carved into it, and you can see that it is similar to the Vitruvian Man, but it's different that the extra limbs and things are like it looks to be similar to the flayed figure on wall number 4. It looks to be as if this person is like stretched and their skin has been removed from their body, and you can tell that there is writing engraved in their skin that has been removed from their flesh. But give me a religion or history check, or
Is the writing on the skin anything like the writing on our man Vocenti and the other devils?
On Galuin?
Galuin, that's what I meant.
Oh,
No,
that's a
it's a
very-
terrible roll.
A very good question.
14, but history. But I'm gonna use. I know you're. I'm sorry, but I wanted to roll out. I'm gonna use. What is that skill that I have? I think I just passed it. Flash of genius and add my Oh, that's ability checks and saving throws, not skill checks. Never mind. Ignore me.
All right, skill checks, ability checks.
Are they? Sure.
Yeah, I think ability checks are anything that use your ability scores.
Then I'm gonna add +5 to that to make it 19.
Right.
Yeah, I got fucking 3. So
Three.
history, I guess.
Yeah. I'll say with that that insight you had just now, especially, there is a very you can probably pretty confidently guess that this is the similar writing as is on the scarring of Galuin, and that you found on other servants of the Imperium, and the like very minor amount that is present on Ulu Renbrook, the indebted wizard from the Imperium. It's fiendish, you know it to be, or we guess it to be.
Okay.
Gray's gonna go assist Beep Boop in checking this thing out. How big is this grate?
The grate's not too big. It's probably just like 6 inches diameter. It's just kind of a circular grate.
Would Gray be able to enter that in his current fire form?
Gray would indeed be able to enter that in his fiery form.
No, it says he can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing.
I mean, it's a large grate, so there's like multiple things that are pretty close to 1 inch wide. I would allow it.
Yeah, Gray's gonna go dive
The
inside.
flame just goes.
There's a
into this
light.
little grate.
There's a light still in the room.
Yeah, the light unfortunately is still burning into the space from the radiant. Oh, and that reminds me of one last thing. As you guys see Gray slip into the grate, you see Xerox as you're like just taking in this space. You see where the light hits this like vampiric figure here. The appearance of it has changed since when you first came in. When you first came in, the light was like barely spilling onto like its knees or whatever of this figure, and now as the light is poured all the way across it, you can see that it is many of the monstrous features have kind of receded, and you see what looks to be a humanoid man with some like kind of fine features. It's hard to tell if they're like elven or half elven or human or whatever they might be. With just a look on their face of bored curiosity as they hold in one hand what is very clearly a wizard staff of some kind, an arcane focus or something, and on the other hand they're just kind of like staring into this crystal ball, and they look far, like they don't look I think Xerox might imagine this is what like a very fancy wizard who's like just born into money and also had all the like arcane power, like Nazira is like incredibly powerful with magic, but like isn't this arrogant, I mean, has some arrogance, but like isn't like these like one of these like like a Harkill sort of figure. It's sort of like mad for power sort of person. This looks to you like what you would imagine someone born into the lap of luxury and then heaped upon with power, just bored, just like with looking on at life with like just this kind of detached boredom because they have mastered everything they might want to. Just this look of like self-assurance and you're not sure what, but a pretty like fine-featured, attractive humanoid person with these like trappings of arcane power.
And a head in their hand, whatever.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because like what was the I'm gonna say like what was the head in the previous relief, like you can easily manage that having been replaced by this like was just like a crystal ball, innocuous thing.
Okay. I don't know. Xerox doesn't have like heads or tails of it. It's just but she was curious as to why Harkill is
I want you to finish your thought.
Harkill is jealous, seemingly jealous of this. Obviously, she knows that this being has something that Harkill wants.
Have any of us ever seen a picture of the Emperor of the Gwengold Imperium?
Oh, I would say that you probably have. Like, you two definitely would. Well, you definitely would have in your time of working with the Crusades. Like, there would definitely be like some, banners and things with the visage of the Emperor Constance Swingold, the current Imperator of the Gwengold Imperium.
This doesn't look
not this face.
Doesn't look like them
No.
or any of their relatives.
Many of the relatives, as you've known, as you've recently become aware, the Imperium's scraping the barrel for relatives right now, so that includes a lot of people. It seems their bloodline has spread far.
Okay. Just making sure.
Gray, you just zip into this tube, this drain that goes down. As you can see around you to some extent, you can even see and feel as your fiery body is enclosed in this little space. You can smell, sense. I don't know what your senses are entirely like, but there's this smell or this awareness that your heat, your flame is burning away some stuff like it always is. But one of the things is kind of off-gassing. Every time you burn something, there's a different aroma of burn that you experience, and this bouquet of it as you're this flame element. You can smell. You can smell ash and identify all the different things that were burned and compose that ash. You get the sense that you are burning through a tube that is coated with old blood. And as you descend, you're burning much of that away. You can feel, you can smell the scent of this burning blood and the iron in it and all this stuff.
Does it continue downwards?
It does. It goes down 20, 30 feet before it opens up into another chamber. And as you spit out into this,
I think I'll just stick his head through before
Okay.
going down. Because
so your lights, you can imagine the camera being in the chamber that you're entering, just this light begins to burn into this tube, and then this little flaming head pokes out, and you just look around. You see that you are in a small confined room that has some sort of rack, similar to an immense spinning wheel for spinning yarn or thread. You can imagine a thing Snow White pricked her finger on, but this immense wheel, just the wheel itself, this wooden wheel made out of multiple joints. In the center of it, you can see, or all around the edge, you can see there is chain bindings going all the way around it. And you can see that these bindings are all connected to a person stretched and strapped to the center of this rack. You can see them just you come down from the top of this chamber, and this person's just right in the center, face down, their body stretched around. So they're just hanging in the center of this.
how far down is it?
15 feet from where you are. They're hanging over some weird contraption, and the rack they're on is carved and cut. There's some strange mechanical work to it. You're not really sure what it all does, but you can tell that right now it's just holding this body tightly bound and stretched, holding them just above this pool. It's the blood that you knew once flowed through this drain would have poured out probably onto this person and then down into the vessel beneath them.
Gray's gonna make his way back up to rejoin the group. He's gonna say hello first in fire speak. Try and like call out to it, see if it responds.
There is the slightest sort of like shift in the body. There is some thing, some movement, some response, but it doesn't respond to you. It doesn't vocalize.
Yeah, Gray goes back to the best of his ability, communicate what he saw. We could probably point at Xerox's cut wound, you know, and kind of point, you know, down there, and maybe kind of mimic the like splayed out person, and try and explain that via his flame body.
Yeah, why don't you give me a performance check with disadvantage? This is your first time in a flame body. You guys can give me insight rolls.
I rolled 4 twice, so that's a 6.
Insight. 13.
17.
Xerox. Beep Boop, you are struggling to figure out what this.
I usually am.
Gray.
I usually am.
Even when he
Xerox,
can talk.
you've been living and working side by side with Gray. It's not the first time Gray's tried to communicate through fire. Like Gray's played with the fire before. Like he's kind of in this vibe. I'm gonna say that with you, between your insight and your performance, for Xerox reaching over a 20, you have a pretty good idea of what Gray's trying to communicate here.
Okay. It seems that there's someone bound below us.
How did you get that from? Are you sure?
Gray keeps doing like the splayed out thing.
Trial and error, my friend. Trial and error. We haven't seen any passage. How big is this grate?
The grate's only it's only like 6 inches. Like at least like there's a grate and it's like set on this like drain tube that's about like 6 inch diameter.
Okay, so we haven't passed by anything any way down.
Not that I could see, but could be more to this room. Can I look around the edges of this room and see if there's like a door or a trap door?
You can give me investigation checks as you look around for any
Assist.
23.
7 for my investigation.
Yeah, Xerox looks all over the place. Looks so hard.
Just can't stop looking at Harko or that handsome vampire man.
You quickly dismiss the idea that these like side walls and panels can be interacted with in any meaningful way aside from whatever magic is fucked up around this
Why
place.
shut the door?
But you shut the door behind you. But you do realize that this altar in the center of the room is movable. You think that some ritual, something needs to be done on that altar for it to activate. And as you gain that insight, you, I think, would gain some confirmation from some of the like other iconography and symbolism like engraved in that central platform.
Is Xerox still bleeding?
Xerox, because it was such a like bludgeoning wound, never got like a deep laceration. There's definitely some like blood coming out from where her skin broke, but it's more like just deep bruising, I imagine.
It can move, but I think this is the sacrifice or betrayal that we're talking about, not me shutting the door on you. We might have to shed some blood, and I'm ill-equipped, and
British shrugs.
Well, just to see what happens, Xerox will take.
I hold out my giant silver sword just in case you don't have a blade.
Xerox will
Jams it through Xerox's heart.
It's a betrayal.
Well, roll another character. Xerox will grab the blade and kind of pull her hand up it a little bit, and then squeeze her hand over the grate.
Blood drips from your hands, splattering against the grate and down into the drain beneath. Yeah, standing on this altar are all like almost lose your footing as it goes shifts up and then begins to twist around till it's like 8 feet up, and you can see that a winding stair has been revealed to go beneath. Take 3 damage.
Oh no.
And he's down.
Did you take damage from a fart before?
You took damage. She took damage from the.
Well, from getting hit by Haruko, but from upstairs.
Yeah, I'm down about 40 points.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on Xerox. At. Oh wait.
We have potions, so.
Good, because I apparently don't have Cure Wounds prepared for the day. Because why would I? Drink a potion as you feel needed. Walking down the stairs. I'm gonna leave my burb, who definitely needs a name at some point, but I'm not gonna have it yet. Upstairs and say, if that light starts to change or fade at all, come find us, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my yarn ball from it.
Okay. I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Unacceptable mark.
You guys can
The tension is mountain.
We're gonna metagame for a little bit.
Alright, sweet.
Check his notes quick.
Yeah. Did Melissa say there's root beer out there?
There is some bad root beer.
Will I get in trouble if I drink root beer?
No.
I don't want to steal from the pregnant woman.
We will buy more tomorrow.
I really like being a flame elemental.
It is pretty nice.
It's pretty sick.
It's very fitting to the gray aesthetic. I'm digging it.
I bet Mark never thought someone would go down the drain.
I bet you never. You have to figure that shit out the hard way. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, Jared, the seller accepted the offer on the house. It's not official. They still have to do the inspection, appraisal, and then have the mortgage broker accept it. But I'll find out on Wednesday. No, absolutely for sure if I got the house or not.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. I hope you'll be able to host one of these days. There's a pile of food that I brought down here, so don't worry.
Got brooms.
And dogs.
I know, right?
Or a dog. And some cats that'll come by and smell it.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm nerve wracking too.
I mean, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But a new house to call your own.
I can't wait just to walk in and be like, I could put, a hole through this.
I'm
It's
just gonna
mine.
break the wall for
Yeah,
shits and giggles.
I could do this. I could just,
Yeah,
no one's gonna yell at me for putting a hole in the wall.
that's so cool.
Punch all the holes in the wall.
Or just, to hang a
Let
picture.
the anger flow through you.
I was in my apartment for like 12 years, and you're not supposed to put pictures up or anything, because I don't want to ruin the walls. So for the first 7 years or something, I'm just like, all right, no pictures. And finally, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I need something up on these walls. It's just white and boring,
I love like corner walls. They're so exciting. I could if it was not for my wife, I don't think we'd ever have anything on the wall. I swear all my walls would be blank. If it was just my space, I'd be like, There's no way I'm putting anything anywhere.
I had these like pictures. It's 3 pictures that are separate, but it's the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And I put this like foam backing behind it, so I could get pins and draw like have like people's faces, and then have like red yarn, connecting all of them, like
Like
figured
your
out
serial
Conspiracy
killer.
board.
Yeah, and I've wanted to do this for the longest time, but I didn't have a wall I could put them on, and
Finally,
Yeah,
you can
it's
have the
coming.
conspiracy board you've always wanted.
yes. Now I just need like little pictures of like black and white pictures of people's faces.
And now you just need a picture of you in front of it. Doing
I figured it out. The cigarette was like extender thingies.
And the cigarettes, like smoke down to the nub. It's got ash just like
Stings so precariously. Gonna fall on the carpet any moment.
any second.
I've seen that picture before.
So are we gonna go down these stairs, guys?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Flame elemental first.
yeah, we'll lead the way.
Your flame friend illuminating the path as you guys descend, as your actual last glimpse back into the space as the radiant light is blocked by the platform that is raised up and revealed the stairs going down, now blocking this wall. You can see that person has once again now in the shade of the radiant light has returned to that vampiric visage.
Oh shit.
It's not moving, is it?
It is not. You guys wind your way down below.
Wait, my light was causing it to go
No.
back? Okay.
In that brief moment, so radiant light, when you guys first came in here, spilling into this room, was not really touching beyond like higher than the knees of the vampire guy. You could see him full vampire. When the radiant light was fully, or the door was open, the radiant light spilled across the entire like stone relief. Then he was that like human sort of featured person, like the sorcerer or whatever. And now that the light is now being blocked by this central platform or altar that is raised up and is kind of blocking the light from hitting him in places.
Gotcha.
It's now in the shadow of the radiant light and it's vampiric again.
So I didn't see any like super big changes from the other reliefs.
All
I
of
didn't
them
look at
shifted, yeah.
Look at them
As you look at
slowly.
them all, like in that time when the door was shut, all of them shifted their forms somewhat.
Okay.
And Harko went back into his relief and not just frozen in space.
Indeed.
Weird.
Alright. Down we go.
No.
Down away. I find
I
it
just hold
very.
his hand up like a torch.
Your whole body is flaming and you hold your hand up like a What were you saying, Joel?
I just find it very funny to myself that Beep Boop and Nibbles both would have done the exact same thing in that situation.
Would they have done the
I'm
same exact
pretty
thing,
sure.
or would Joel have just done the same exact thing?
Nibbles would have done it too. I try to be true to my characters.
Winding down the stairs, going 20, 30 feet beneath this level, before it begins to open up out from just a tightly cramped tunnel into a chamber. You see the stairs have opened up, and at the bottom they seem to like there's a platform that continues like kind of a spiral, but at the bottom, like the last stair, just kind of spirals out farther and farther until it like goes into the room below you, not directly on. So this, effectively, what I'm saying is, you don't walk down onto the figure that's on the rack in the room below. The stairs like lead you off to the side, so you end up landing on the same floor that whatever rack is holding it is resting on. So you're now below here in another chamber, for which there is this it's like just a bunch of it's not like really a circle so much as it is like these various pieces like built into each other, and like all these chains go into the center where it's holding this person horizontally.
With different rack person. A different rack person than the one Gray saw?
No, this is the same rack
Okay.
person. And you guys are kind of like the stairs going to go around to the sides. You guys kind of land on the level here.
Okay.
Gray's pointing to it, like doing the split out thing. Again,
Ah, I see it now. That's pretty good. You can be on my team next time we play charades.
Nice. The first time Gray's been invited to play charades.
Do we, as we enter the room, do we see? I assume we're looking up at this figure. Like, how far off the ground are they?
It's like probably like near like chest level. This like rack. So it's like this large kind of structure that's like holding them suspended above the ground, maybe like 4 or 5 feet up, horizontally. So they're like laid out, face down, facing the little like pool beneath them. And now that you guys are down here, you can see there is just like caked with dried blood in the pool down here. All like just any moisture or water is just like been pulled out, but it's just like this dried, caked mess in the pool beneath them. And you can also see as the stairway, as it lowered or whatever happened itself into this room, whatever changed here, it also revealed what looks to be on the inside of like the stairs that come down here. There's like a tool rack on the side, on the inside here now, full of various blades, many of them hooked, just strange ritual blades. Some that are just like obviously not like are more difficult to use than they should be. Any like hunter's blade that you would use, but like you can tell, I would say, Gray and Xerox especially, given your history in surviving in the wilds and such. Some of these look very clearly meant to flay skin off of, like, a body. These are ritualized versions of tools that you would use for leather work in many cases.
I don't like this room.
Nor do I.
There's no other doors or anything coming out of it.
Did we see any movement from this figure as we entered the room?
There's been a few, like, twitches.
What about the mechanism locking him in place? Does it look to be... Are there locks?
You don't see locks. It's strange. Like, you see the chains where they should, or like where you might see a lock. You can see the chains, you examine them in the light, have like arcane glyphs written on them. This is like an enchanted, like the chain work is enchanted, and the whole like rack itself seems to have been enchanted for the purpose of holding this person. But you don't see locks. It's almost like the chains just like wrap around. Like you'll see like the chain goes out to a wrist, wraps around it. The chain like comes back, just wraps around itself, and just is taut and like held there. In fact, if you even like go and like try and like just test the chain work and stuff, it is rigid and solid, enchanted in place.
Do we see Xerox blood on this thing?
You would see a few drops of Xerox's blood that had drained their way down to this space, having dripped and begun to drain down the side of the figure's back.
If Gray goes to reach for one of these tools, does the fire like cause them to burst into flames, or like are the wooden handles on it that start to char if he gets his hand near it?
Yeah, I would say that you would find that these tools are, I would say the blades are mostly metallic. You see that a few that look to be made out of like volcanic glass or something. The handles, however, are made of bone or ivory or something. They begin, you can tell they're feeling the heat of your touch, but aren't going to burst into flames immediately.
See any levers or anything like that?
I'll have a look around for some levers.
As you begin looking around in this place that, illuminated by the flickering body of gray, just casting these strange shadows throughout, and like this gray is like underneath the light coming from beneath this figure. You can see like the racked frame of this body being like splayed out in shadow on the ceiling. Don't see any levers or anything looking around, you don't see any levers or anything. But I think your search is disrupted by hearing this like dry, rasping sound of like stone almost being rubbed against paper or something, until you begin to realize as it like stops, you can hear it like rattle again, slightly more understandable this time as you begin to realize it's the sound of this body trying to speak, with dried, swollen tongue filling its mouth.
I have no water today.
I'm mostly fire.
I have some water. I look to Xerox. Hold up my canteen.
Let's try it, friend.
Pour some water in its mouth somehow.
It's still facing down, strapped to its rack. You can get beneath it, and you can see this person that has been scraped clean of any hair that might have once grown from their body.
That's not where I thought you were going. All right.
It is difficult. I think you've described yourself as having a canteen in the past there, Beep Boop.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's tough to get the water into the downward facing mouth with a canteen.
ooh. Hold on. Can I stick with me here?
Mm-hmm.
Can I start to pour a stream of water right under his mouth and then cast levitate on it and have it
levitate on the water and then just
have the water levitate up into its mouth?
Absolutely you can. Yes.
Wonderful use of a second level spell
You
slot.
can spend a second level spell slot to enable this person to drink. I'll allow it.
I do.
You can see this the little water is coming up in this little mushroom shaped fountain coming towards their face as they are able to just you hear just spluttering of coughing as just sprays the water away. They swallow deeply several times and say, "New pages are needed if you seek to take the Necronomicon away from this place."
Oh shit! Oh shit! Now
Pages are needed?
New pages.
God damn it, I'm too excited to finish that fucking stage. New pages of what? The book?
The book will always be here. To take it, you must provide new pages for it to be written upon.
It's written out of flesh, everybody. Just so you remember. right?
Are you pulling from knowledge you already have, or you?
We
just
talked
using
about
things
it.
from
Yeah, we talked about this the before times. Hold on. Necronomicon. Oh, it's a death book. Oh no, it doesn't say. I could have sworn I knew that this book was made out of flesh.
I feel like that may have been told before. But indeed, you can gather that this thing is referring to itself, and as you can see its skin carved into a maze of fine writing cut into its flesh, almost. It seems almost as if like the black ink of the writing is just like necrosis going through capillaries in this body, like feeling out those lines of those symbols. You're not sure exactly what dark magic is involved in the writing of the book on this flesh, but you can tell that it is the Necronomicon that rests here in this rack, speaking to you.
Holy shit. And okay, so this is like the opposite of the Panopticon Atlas, or the two are related slightly from what I remember our discussion, or no? They're just similarly named.
Yeah, they're just got con in the name.
Okay.
The con.
Okay, they're just cons.
Panopticon.
Okay. Alright. Why was this death book important? Why did he want it? Why are you here in this temple? Book.
5. There will always be.
4. One's dead, right? Sorry. Continue.
Ever fewer than 5. I show the way.
Oh, fuck. Show the way to what?
The restoration of the 5.
Fuck.
There is
I took notes on a thing.
odd about the voice of this creature, Xerox.
Mm-hmm.
Something familiar. Give me. You know you recognize this voice from your time with the Gwen Gold, or while working with the Imperium Crusades. Why don't you give me just a knowledge or a intelligence check to see if you can place this.
Intelligence check, but it's gonna be a 9.
9. It's a voice that you place so like close to Harkill himself, but you can't quite remember who it belonged to.
Can I just like toss a ball of yarn at his head and be like, you can do better than that, and give him a +5 to that with my inspiration?
You see this introspective thought or expression across Xerox's face as they're like plumbing the depths of her own memory.
She leans back even further.
Leaning at a 45-degree angle.
That gives a plus what?
5.
Plus 5?
Just in case it helps.
9 to a 14?
9 to
I
a
think it's
14.
worth it.
It does indeed help. There's this like moment where you're like struggling to place the voice, like it's so fucking familiar, and there's like your brain is like stuck in that loop of like not quite getting the name like coming to the front, and as soon as like the ball of yarn hits you, and there's like this moment of like just interruption for whatever process your brain was in. Lucius Dormanus. Not someone that you were close to.
So it sounds like the Necronomicon sounds like Lucius Damanus.
Dormanus. It is tough to like place the voice. Just it's been years since you've heard this person, and rarely did you think of them other than to laugh at what a pathetic bootlicker they were. Always trailing after General Harkill, the perfect assistant. This person followed Harkill to the gates of whatever devilish or undead horrors this is. In those moments, those like iconography of the symbols of betrayal in the doors above, you can see that Harkill needed the book and had to leave fresh pages behind. And Lucius provided those pages.
Fuck. Shit. Nice. Xerox will share this as like, I know him. And
You know the Necronomicon?
Lucius, you did not come here. You are not in this state willingly. Where did Harkill take the take Necronomicon?
I always willing to show the way when less than 5 there are.
We have to eliminate one of them.
Like,
I was left behind to fulfill the purpose, to become the Necronomicon again. Harkill took the previous book and consumed it in his purpose, and now decorates these walls. Should he die, or any of the other Necrocs fall, it is only a matter of time before some soul comes searching for me again. And I will show them. I will show them how to descend, to replace the empty pedestal. A point on the 5-sided star.
Shit.
Five protectors there will always be.
and who are they?
The frozen shade in the east. The flayed priest knows no bounds. The vampire lord upon the city on a hill.
I'm never gonna finish that campaign.
The dead serpent that rules the skies. And the general that commands Orcus's legions.
That's only 4.
Shade, Flayed Priest,
Ah.
Vampire Lord,
Sorry.
Undead Serpent, General Harkill.
Which one of
If you wish to take me, you must leave pages in my place. The book will be written again.
Who's to stop us from just taking you?
You can try.
No, I know that, but what will happen if we do?
The book cannot be taken from this place. It rests in its cradle until new pages are presented. Though someone must come here willingly to find their fate pressed upon them like a blade on the neck.
Not it.
He says it in Igni. You don't understand him. You don't understand him. It doesn't count.
Okay. Which one of the Necrocs died? And are you wearing a demon hunter shirt? Yes.
I feel like this shirt gets recognition literally every time I wear it. It's great. At least for D&D. Like
It's
Garrett
so
and Joel
good.
always get it.
I mean, band played a huge part of my life.
It's
Right?
so
Yeah,
much.
So good.
Here's when we talked about this, the only member of the party that was actually here was Gray, because this conversation of the Necronomicon all happened on the vampire boat, in which Nazir, Aquila,
Big
and Gray
words
were
would have caught you all up.
All right,
With
that's
more
fair.
detail than you wanted.
All right, perfect. Just making sure that.
Yeah, you're counting that. Why don't we just take a quick moment to out of character if you have
Yes.
any quick
Okay.
questions for your own sanity and understanding. Throw them at
I
me.
vaguely remember a Necronomicon.
So there were 5 champions, 5 Necroc generals, 1 Necrarch generals. Necroarch, that's what. One of them was slain, and that was. I don't know if we know who it was that was slain. I have a guess, but I don't know for sure
What's your guess?
that it's Elihu.
Oh.
In the flesh
interesting
prison.
guess.
Just a guess,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
There was one scene in the Elihu subplot that I kind of dropped a couple years ago. It's still involved in the game. It's not just a dead end, but I stopped bringing it into attention because it was just too much. I was trying to pull in too much at the same time.
It's great.
Elihu's flesh prison. There was a moment when Elihu learned that everybody that was in his temple, his home, was seeing the surroundings as a prison of flesh and skin, and was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." That's just a representative of how I've been feeling about this place. It's just a part of my magic.
Okay.
And changed it to be a more hospitable place. And I think in one of our games, there was an added detail regarding Elihu that was a vision of Elihu being on a table, an altar, and being skinned, being flayed by other gods, and being done to them willingly. and like the Moradin, the dwarven god, like pounding in like stakes into their skin, like splaying it out across like an immense area. So some strange stuff. I think that out of character, Elihu is not a
Part of this.
happily evil sort of thing.
Okay.
Seemed to be more like, just like that was just like this thing that happened as a result of like them being alone for untold millennia and not realizing what they were manifesting for the poor sentience around them that had been pulled into their space. Remember, if you do recall, any of you, the rest of you, Elihu was this like sort of divine or godlike or powerful figure that was in this like flesh space prison where people who died within the Temple of Doors would find themselves after they had died.
Wasn't that the Untamed Lands?
That was like the first time you guys
played.
kind of encountered Elihu was definitely because like that was
So we wouldn't even know that.
some of the Untamed Land folks, but like out of
This
character.
is out of character.
Yeah.
I think it was like because I killed Joel's character so readily. I think it was definitely one of Joel's characters that died first in the.
I died before we even got
Yeah,
there.
that's right. You did.
Major Libido is
Libido
dead in there.
died in there.
Yeah.
Was that Drew's?
Yeah, I figured that's why that dropped off, because Drew dropped out of the game, so there was no more Major Libido to like fill us in on what was going on in there.
I thought like at least a couple other characters had died in the
There
Temple
was
Doors.
there was some of the time that we saw him. I'm struggling to place when.
The other time, I will say, I don't think I have the document here, but there has been one other time that your characters have come across the name.
What? When?
A very, very long time ago.
Jeez. Before I understood.
This is all out of character still.
Yeah.
So we have not heard the name Elihu in this context yet. But for your own edification, and because it's definitely more relevant somewhere, when you guys first went beneath the what is now the Bellstone mine and quarries, when you went into that strange place with those floating, screaming, exploding heads and other strange abominations, when you then traveled through a portal to the plane of Pandemonium and came across that strange like complex that seemed to have these different like pads for like teleportation to different like realms of existence, like planes of existence.
Oh shit.
There was a statue then
We should go back.
and a relief that I believe you even took a charcoal.
Xerox broke it off.
Xerox just alright.
I'm pretty sure Xerox broke it off and brought it with us.
Who needs a charcoal relief when you can just?
Oh, yeah.
I'm 95% certain that you took it with you.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did take something with some writing on it from.
Yeah, I remember presenting you guys with this, and it was.
Sorry.
Yeah, there is a reference to a god on that, to an entity named Elihu.
Okay.
All that to say, not strictly related to this. I mean, there's a
Good
lot
guess,
there's a lot of
but-
flaming
yeah.
like skin and flesh horror in my game so far, so I forgive you for getting them confused.
Not just you. It's been a going theme from burning children in casks in the Imperium to flayed monsters out east, losing skin left and right.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Zero.
But do anything else out of character, real quick? Any other things you guys are kind of like have thinking or like bumping around your heads? You're like, is this even like this game's been going on for 4 years? Is it related? Like, what the fuck's going on? I'm happy to indulge those questions too here.
But So, I thought the book was in Lumos. Are we in Lumos right now?
The wand is in Lumos.
The wand is in Lumos, okay. And that's... Ilmad... Okay. But... Lumos is built on a fountain of Ilmater found the wand of Orcus. Force of death built around it.
And we're trying to... I don't remember much of the discussion about the Necronomicon. Why are we trying to find the Necronomicon?
We aren't technically. I mean, I think...
We just found it.
We found it, and it makes sense that it... I don't think it was on our list of things that we necessarily wanted, but it would... Like, I think...
If
they
I
can use it
remember-
to free Orcus or something.
If I remember correctly, you did hear about the Necronomicon from maybe, I believe, Ochenti.
Yeah.
In relation to, like, he learned that General Harkill was, like, looking for this.
Uh-huh.
And, like, he said, I don't fucking, like, I'm not about giving horrific, awful artifacts to people, like, you know, like all this. So, like, he didn't, and he also didn't trust Harkill as a someone to do business with. But he did hear from his, like, his network a long time ago that Harkill was interested in the Necronomicon.
But we were talking about it with the vampire dude.
Hmm.
That's why, like, Big Words and them were talking about it with, the fuck was his name?
Visigroth?
Visigroth.
I just remember when the conversation got really long, Gray would just walk off and do something
Yeah.
else.
Just go make some rat pies with the chef again.
Because he was telling us how the vampires were the first of Orcus's children. And
Mm-hmm.
that we were asking him about the wand. And that's why he let us go. Because he was like, you clearly need to be doing things.
Yeah, that's why he gave you guys the map without
Mhm.
demanding you fulfill your side of any bargain from the first beforehand.
And this has to relate to the devils, Visigroth, and the Shemadian somehow. But there's 3 of them, right?
Yeah, from what you learned, Shemadai is a devilish personage broken into 3 parts. And from what Big Words has told you, and I can summarize a little bit, is that when the planes were split and, like, the gods were pushed away into their own realms and such, like, archdevils were caught in that too, like powerful devilish and demonic and angelic and other figures, and even like Archface and stuff, like, couldn't stay on the prime material and had to be pushed, like, following, like, if you imagine, like, I don't know, like electron web around an atom, or like different, like, levels of this thing that, like, different entities at different power levels are kind of like were pushed away to from the central, like, prime material. And that if I think Big Words and you guys had kind of hypothesized that if a powerful entity wanted to retain direct influence here, they might fracture themselves into pieces that could stay, while, like, retaining some connection between the whole, but would need to change themselves from their, like, powerful synthesized whole into a broken into multiple pieces that could share that burden, so they wouldn't be pushed away from the prime material with so much force, if that makes sense. So I believe Big Words had theorized that the devilish heart of the Imperium was some archdevil that had remained on the prime material with their, you know, some sort of trinity of devilishness, holding or presenting or representing the strength or the potency of their essence or whatever.
She was confused by some of them. Big Words. I can't remember which one. But it confused her, and therefore it confused everyone.
Ray
Big
felt like
Words
he
is smart.
understands.
That would make sense. Okay. I still just don't know which one of them died, though. back to the Necroarchs.
Necrox.
I don't know which one died.
Left betrayal, right sacrifice.
Why is this all hidden under a shrine to a martyr?
The strength buried away.
Why?
The words bound in this book, in this flesh, were never meant to be restricted here.
Oh, this is the knowledge that was hidden away.
The first book was bound to this place. The light sought to hide it. The light sought to bind it. But the darkness finds a way. The book will be written in flesh. The flesh will walk into the world to see the will of the words complete. You all seem strong to have come to this place. Perhaps more worthy than one of the 5 that currently wear the crowns.
More worthy than one.
You can replace them, tear them down, see them ruined beneath you. I can help you.
But we'd have to go to the hells for this.
The hells are written in my flesh, in my pages. You needn't go anywhere.
Moose agrees to be the sacrifice.
Who did Harkill replace?
A pathetic one, lost to the ages. The first of the Necrox to fall. The first failure. The first of those unworthy of Orcus.
The vampires?
Name lost to time, unworthy of recording. Harkill came, understood a seat waited filling, understood power waited to be wielded. Thought he could make it his own.
Alright, we sacrifice your homunculus.
No! I say we just take it.
It sounds like we can't. Unless
Beep
someone...
Boop doesn't believe in those words.
Are we going to carry him out of here?
Well,
Said-
the other one, Arco, took one just like him. Do you turn into a book when you get taken away, or do you stay an annoying human being?
It was a book, but a repository of knowledge.
Oh, God.
You said you would show us.
He could lead us to the people we need to take out.
Yeah.
Do you know where the Wand of Orcus is? That's why we need it. We need to find the wand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we know of any other way to get to Lumos.
Yeah.
Waits where?
Plans and draws forth his strength. You seek the wand as well.
Oh God.
Can you take us to him?
Bring a replacement for these pages, and I will guide you to what you seek. I will share with you the knowledge in these pages. Knowledge ancient and knowledge new.
Does it have to be flesh?
A sacrifice of one trusting is just as pure of a sacrifice of one willing.
Harkill out in the world is just his like effigy that's like carved on there.
Mm-hmm.
So the sacrifice is a person that's now going to become the Necronomicon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so God, okay. Well, I'm not sure.
Toga
They have to be willing is the problem.
I cannot say.
It has to be you've kind of gleaned that perhaps well give me a history check or a religion check here. Each of you.
27.
Oh my
3.
god. Wow, impressive.
27 history. What you know about me?
You've put together that this dark art related to this book was originally solely dependent on the ritual betrayal of someone. That there had to have been, like you guess, like some amount of like genuine trust or like something, like some betrayal involved in the sacrifice or in the payment for accessing this book. The strangeness of this place is that it is seemingly some dark place that was built upon by servants of Lathander. And it seems that they have maybe changed or altered the ritual or the magic here from solely being based on betrayal to not avoiding the blood cost, but changing it from betrayal to sacrifice as an option.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see, from what you've gleaned here, an intentional way for someone to be able to retrieve this body without replacing it with something new. Either a willing sacrifice or a betrayal being required. But some sacrifice being essential.
Could we sacrifice a bug?
I'm gonna go pee. You guys can chat about that.
Oh.
Does the body have to stay here?
Well, it appears so.
Unless I can find a different replacement. It seems that we have.
But who else are we gonna sacrifice to do this? Like, the only thing that I think either any of our characters would be sacrificing themselves to do it.
We have to get Nazira's like alternate body.
If
Sacrifice.
only.
We should probably grab some sand from this place so she can teleport back.
Oh, genius. I love the way you think. Oh, that doesn't. What happens if we kill the book that's there?
What if one of us becomes the book? Can we leave?
No, I think you're stuck here on the hooks.
Can we return the book that we had and replace it with the one that we want?
I think one of us has to be it. Because I find it a stretch for us to fucking go and
Leave and come back?
Yeah.
I would love to be a book.
I mean,
yeah. I don't think he understands the cause. Understands it enough.
We're sacrificing Gray.
I was gonna say, you would love to become a book. Obsessed you with paper and stuff. I think the thought is definitely like jumping around in his mind, like how cool that would be.
I
But I
could
don't
be
think-
big words.
Yeah, I don't think he would do it. It feels unnatural. And all this devil script. Generally bad stuff.
It says that a book always needs to be here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Harkill took the last book. Do you get a sense of what would happen if there wasn't a Necronomicon in the space?
You don't know. It seems like, from what you've seen of the magic here, and from what the body, the Necronomicon body here has said, doesn't give you any insight to what that. Just like saying like that is impossible is kind of what their perspective is. And you haven't like. It seems like that's what the magic is geared towards right now. That's not to say other situations or circumstances are impossible. It's just like you haven't been presented with an indication of what an alternative would look like. If that makes sense.
And what happens if you defeat one of the five? Are they defeated in real life?
The Necronomicon says,
These are mere reflections of the Necrarchs. Should you find one of the mirrors above empty, well, then the power would be awaiting you, waiting to be picked up anew. If you think one of those above is misusing their power, is failing to serve the Dark Lord of Death, well, you need only take me from this place, and I will show you how to usurp their strength.
If I were to just kill you, what then?
The book will always exist.
Yeah, but if you're dead, then which book would be there?
Please. Let's find out.
Oh, that's an open invitation.
no.
Want to kill a book?
You hear like fire.
"No kill books, no kill pages."
Although he's probably looking at this and be like, that's not a book. That's not a book. That's not a book.
There's no words on that page. It's kind of like words. They're just written in skin.
Yeah.
It's like Xerox looks at Beep's just trusting you. And we'll bring her hammer down on the freaking.
Oh, I mean, sure. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. Xerox says, better in a million pieces.
Yeah, I swing my sword with her.
All right. Hammer comes down on the head of the book. The blade cuts into the flesh. A single powerful slam, you can feel whatever bone and flesh inside the skull just crush and crumble. The blade cuts easily through the flesh as if it has no bones or solid strength left after its long time hanging here. You meet, it is unable to resist or defend itself against your attacks, and you utterly destroy any life, living or naturally existed in this body.
The bad guys.
There is a spluttering from the crushed head of this thing, and the deeply lacerated body is just like some slow, viscous, just like sludges of blood emanates from the wound that you created on it.
More resilient than that.
It's going to take more than just a hit of a hammer and a cut of a blade to destroy this thing, but it does not seem outside your capabilities.
Can I cast Dispel Magic at 4th level on it?
It certainly can.
Go for it.
It's a big words move right there.
I mean,
That
it's
is a
the
big
biggest
move.
words move I have.
The 4th level, there is some spell effects on this that are higher than 4th level right now.
Oh, for sure.
So go ahead and give me, was it a d20 plus your casting modifier plus? I think it's just plus your casting modifier.
Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. So not the attack, but just
Yeah,
the
it's
ability.
no proficiency modifier, just your ability modifier.
19, and I'm gonna do my last inspiration to make that a 24. Oh, not my last one, but another
19,
one.
I believe, is already going to be a 9th level spell.
Oh, great. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that will. That's correct. Never mind.
There is a magical, just like evaporation from this thing, almost like the pressure change of like a large balloon popping in this space. And there's just like this, like almost like just like gust of wind almost that comes off of it. It droops in its restraints, and you can see it begin to sag there. Any magic protecting this thing has been stripped away, and its destruction will be all the easier.
I like to guide the way for Xerox's hammer. After
Xerox
you.
will wail away.
You begin to just obliterate the form that's like strange, like racked and just like horribly weathered form of Lucius Dormanus, lieutenant in the Imperial Crusades, body obliterated beyond recognition by the rage of Xerox.
He was a bad guy. He was a bad guy. He was a bad
Its
guy.
flesh ripped and torn away from the restraints holding it in place, until all you have is a mangle of flesh smeared on the ground, broken and battered into the like down like the bowl set into the ground beneath it where presumably blood would have cooled, but this thing excretes very little, like no blood, and very little even of this like strange viscous ichorous material inside it. But it is utterly destroyed within moments of Xerox's fury being unleashed.
If I get close, does the flames kind of sear the flesh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does anything interesting happen as it dies?
There is an illumination of this chamber as its body is smeared into the ground, obliterated by Xerox's hammer, singed by Gray's flame, and lacerated by your sword. As its body is destroyed, light fills this space. Not necessarily coming, like you guys have allowed and we've illuminated the space and revealed reflective surfaces to allow light to continue down into this like temple place, down into the earth. This light's just kind of coming from around you in this room, not from any particular source. The Necronomicon, the flesh of the Necronomicon, smeared and broken into the ground as it is, begins to just burn away. There is, as you look down at the ground, seeing like the smeared flesh burn and radiant energy and smoke fill this space, there's a moment when you all three look up and you see what looks to be a wholly alien shape. Looks to be two interlocking wheels moving around each other, covered by eyes, illuminated by a radiant energy. The eyes seem to stare at each of you as they spin around the two interlocked wheels. A voice fills the room from no apparent source, and it says, "You heroes who have committed themselves to the elimination of Necronomicon from your world, take my boon.
Oh, shit.
The task before you is great. What once was isolated here has been released to the world.
Oops.
And you will need our strength, saved here from millennia past, when darkness was first sealed away. Take these boons and fight the darkness." And that's where we'll end.
I think we did a bad.
Oh, we get some boons. That's cool, right? That's good. I didn't see how that could possibly turn out good. There was nothing good going.
What do you mean?
I mean, that was just a bad scene. I just wanted to leave and get into the big words.
Tell us what's going on, Big Rich.
This is what happens when we get rid of all them dames.
All the smart people are gone.
We have hammers. We use them. Well, there was one of two things that was going to happen. We were going to find some silly way to do something, or Beep Boop was going to give up his soul, and I wasn't ready to get rid of my character just yet. Wait, what does he mean unleashed it? I mean, it was already gone from the space.
Oh, no. Now it just, it always has to exist. We just destroyed this
One.
particular iteration of it. So, I guess we freed it.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
Because it has to reform somewhere else.
I mean, you could be right. I have to pee.
Does Harkill still have it or no?
That's what I want to
I
know.
would assume yes.
Well, it said it was consumed when he used it.
Hmm.
For what he was using it for.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
It's true.
Whoops.
I'll confirm it.
I was hoping that it would come back from him while he was trying to use it to build the space. Beep boop was wrong.
Woo!
Well constructed, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
God, that was fun.
Greatest confuse human book.
Skin not pages.
I have